is happening, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today is officially the month of June. So I decided for our special little occasion for June that we would do a full-on Transformer month. Now, this is probably going to be the biggest filming month that I am going to be doing this year because I have quite a bit of videos planned. I originally had only 4 videos planned for this month, but for some reason I have been on like a Transformer spree because I keep finding cool stuff and then I keep thinking that I want this to go with this figure and stuff like that. So I've been collecting a lot of Transformers this past month, and it's gotten to the point where I just said, you know what, let's just do all of this all in one month. So not only are we getting 4 videos, we're getting 9. We're getting 9 videos this month, and it's going to be crazy. I'm going to work my hardest to make sure I get these videos out on time. Every Monday, we're doing every Friday as well, and a couple sprinkled in between the months as well. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. I am very excited, but also very worried that I won't live up to this, but I am getting to it. So we're starting off this month very big. So it's the first of June. It's our first video we're doing. So we're taking a look at a very special Autobot for our very first review. And that Autobot is Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. So this is basically based off of his Bumblebee appearance, which is an amazing appearance. It's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie and probably the whole franchise as well, because there's not really much memorable stuff from the other movies, but it's really cool. I really wanted this figure. So we're going to be taking a look at the box as we usually do, and of course we'll be taking a look at the figure as well, and then we'll get straight on into the review, which is pretty much just looking at the figure. And after that, I need to get this video uploaded. So hopefully you guys are very excited for this. I'm very excited for this. 9 videos, that is insane. So let's get right onto this one. I'm very excited. So in terms of the packaging, I actually really do like the way this packaging looks. It's got a nice image of Optimus Prime right there, Transformers Bumblebee, Optimus Prime Studio Series, and of course everything else that you need to know. A couple Autobot symbols there. You got a big nice image of Optimus right here, which is kind of cool, especially if you collect boxes and you kind of just slide it in like it's like a bookshelf. I think that's like really cool. This is a Voyager class, which honestly I didn't know. I didn't know that Studio Series were Voyager classes. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the classes that much, so I'm not familiar with all of that. So it was just like, I thought Studio Series was like its own thing, but I guess not. I don't know. I don't know anything, but I think it's really cool. It does look very, very cool. I don't know what this is about. It says build the cast of the Devastator or whatever who this is. I don't know if like you got like an extra part with him, but he's just there. Unless that's just like an actual like promotion, like, hey, you can get this figure if you want. I don't know. It's just odd that it's just there. I would have just thought it was like a build-a-figure piece, like you get a piece and you just build it. I don't know. Is weird. It's in the instruction booklet too, so that's just why I thought it was odd. You can see some images of the figure itself right there, which we don't really need to see that much. And another image of Optimus, which I love this image right here. It's so cool. And a nice little Autobot logo. So with the Studio Series, they do have a little stand where you can kind of like put them in the background, which I think is really cool. I usually don't use them because I don't really see a point, to be honest. I kind of just prefer them on the shelf. So, but you do get this very nice little display. It's got an image of San Francisco right there, which I think is really cool. But yeah, you could basically just put the figure right there. We have them in truck mode right now, and it looks cool. I actually really do like it. But yeah, we have the figure right here. Let's take a look at this truck mode first. So why am I starting off with truck mode? I don't know, just go with it. So the truck mode, I actually really do like. I think the entire figure looks awesome, but this alternate mode is fantastic. I think it looks so cool. I love the amount of detail that's on this thing. I love the colors. It's not like a super bright red. It's a nice little, matte finish red where it just doesn't gloss as much. But I think it looks awesome. You had the silver that they use is very, very nice looking. I think it just overall just looks so cool, and I love all the little details that you can see. He does come with an accessory, which is his cannon, which is more relevant for the robot mode, but there is a little peg right here that you can slide that into, and it just kind of weapon storage. So I think that's really cool. He does have nice wheels, which all of them are movable, except when you kind of roll them. These tires here don't really roll. If you could kind of see that, I'll try to go slow for you, but they don't really roll unless you kind of push down on it a little bit. But I mean, that's just kind of how the transformation is, or it's just because these feet are in the way. In terms of kibble, it's not horrible, but it's not the best either. There's just like this weird gap there, but I don't know, it just looks fine. I think my only downside with this mode is this weird gap right into here. I think it just looks kind of ugly. They could have filled it in just a tad bit more, but other than that, I don't really have a complaint. Also, what's kind of annoying is that these little tabs right here like to pop off, but that's probably just because I pushed it down and it just popped off like that. But it looks clean. I do really like it. I mean, from the side, it actually looks kind of cool. I do like how they were able to compact it and make it look as kind of sleek as it does. Kind of comparing it to a review that we already have on the channel. That is the what class is this? I don't want to say the classes because I know I'm going to get it wrong. But this is like the not so big version of the this is not the Studio Series Optimus, but it's the one we looked at before. And this is based off the Rise of the Beast movie that came out, which I hope you guys did enjoy that review. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on the channel. I actually really do like this little figure. I think that it looks awesome. I still think that this truck mode does look really cool. Even with the stupid little feet, I think it still looks awesome. Doesn't have the annoying gap as much as the bigger one. But I think in terms of like how they both look, I definitely would have to say this one is 100% better. Just because it just looks very nice. I really do like both of these truck modes, but I think just at the end of the day, I like this one just a little bit more. So I think that's they both look awesome. I think the only thing I would change was maybe add silver here. I don't know. I do like the all red, but I don't know. The silver kind of actually looks really cool there. So I don't know. Maybe one of these days I might paint that silver or something just to give it something. It won't be accurate, but hey, I don't care. So that's pretty cool. Really do like the truck mode. Now we're going to do some transformation. So transforming this thing is a pain. So going from robot to car mode, it frustrated me. Like, I was pretty frustrated. Now that's just because I'm probably a little bit slow in the brain. But I think that overall it's still fun. I've only transformed this thing like a handful of times, so I'm not like completely used to this yet. But, maybe if I did it a little bit more, I probably would be. There's just some parts that just kind of annoy me, like this little part here that just kind of doesn't flush like the other one does. Some parts kind of do tend to like pop off. There's some parts like this where it just doesn't clamp in and you kind of like got to work with it. But overall, I think it's really nice. So we're going to take this truck mode and turn it into a robot. Let's get right into it. So here we have Optimus Prime standing here before us, and I had to say, this guy looks amazing. Like, I absolutely love the way this figure looks. So I think just that all amazing detailing stays with them even in robot mode. I think it just looks awesome. I absolutely love the detailing on this guy. It's just so good looking. Even the paint job is really nice. I really do like the silver. Like I said, in truck mode, the silver is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I think it just pops so well. And, you know, the overall figure just looks awesome, and he does have a very nice presence to him. He is a little blocky, but honestly, I think that's awesome. I think it keeps in line with the original, the G1 cartoon design. I think just that kind of mix of, you know, live action and cartoon mixing together, I think just looks awesome. So this figure is just so cool to look at. And I think they did a fantastic job. I think for like back kibble, it looks a little funny. But honestly, that's pretty much my only complaint. Maybe these two doors on the hand as well, or on the forearms. I think that also looks kind of goofy as well. I think my least favorite part about this figure is just how he kind of feels, because if you kind of, you know, mess around with him, his legs are, they're very, very loosey goose, and I don't really care for that. It's mostly up in the hip joints. They're kind of a little loose side to side when they swivel them, and just going in and out. It just doesn't really feel right, you know. It doesn't feel as solid as, say, this figure, which comparing these two together, you can definitely tell that Optimus Prime did grow a little bit. So I think that's really, really cool. Both of these figures are really, really cool. I really do like both of them. I still really love the feel of this one, but I think I like the look of this one a little bit more. But they both look awesome. I'm still really happy I have both of them. But yeah, that's pretty much both of these two side by side. I think they're both really, really cool figures. But yeah, this one is a really cool one to get. I would say definitely wait for a pretty good deal. I got mine for 60, I think. 50 or 60, I don't know. I think it was it was up there in price, because I think it's just like an older figure, and I think the newest one that was for Rise of the Beast was exclusive for something, but yeah, that's pretty much it. He does have a nice range of posability. He also has some features that you can do with his weapon. One of them is just kind of plugging in these little spots here, and just kind of sticking that into his back. So he's got some weapon storage if you don't want him to hold the weapon, which I think is really, really cool. But usually I don't really like doing that. I like him holding it when it's on display. He does have some posability, which I think it's a pretty decent amount of posability. He has some side to side at the head, which can pretty much go all the way around. His head can look up about that far, down that far, nothing crazy. He does have a nice bend at the elbow, which I really do like this little flap. It does get annoying at some points, but I do like how it just smoothly goes out when you lift up the arm. It does also go full rotation, which is very nice. A butterfly joint, which is pretty cool. It kind of snaps into place, which is kind of neat. He does have a bicep swivel here, and also another one here, which is kind of more for the transformation. He does have a very nice bend, which is pretty simple, and he has a swivel at the wrist, which is kind of tight, but you'll get used to it. He does have a swivel at the waist, no waist cramp. It kind of looks like it's supposed to, but that's just because of the transformation. But he does have a swivel at the waist, which is very nice. Has a very nice spread. I do like how the skirt pieces flop out. His leg can go out that far and back that far. His ass is in the way. His auto ass. He does have a bend at the knee, which is pretty nice, and he does have some up and down and a pretty decent pivot. It's not really the best, but it's a pivot, so I really do like it. So he does have a pretty decent amount of posability. Posing him is pretty decent. I really do like how you can pose him. I think the most annoying thing is the legs. I think that's just the downfall of this figure. Just the legs are just not really fun to mess around with. But other than that, I think he does hold up nicely. He kind of does flop apart. There's some parts, you know, like this part, it just flops around. The legs, maybe this part here. There's just like some little parts that just don't feel like they tab into place, and it just feels awkward. It's mostly in the leg area, like I said. I'm surprised this backpack is pretty stable. That was actually really cool to learn. So I really do like the backpack. It's not it's kind of ugly, but I do like how they tried and made it look pretty nice. I think a nice little paint job would really make that a little bit better. But overall, this figure is not bad. It just could have been just a tiny bit better. So here he is again with the Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime figure. I believe this was our first ever Transformer review. This is the Masterpiece Soundwave figure from way back when I reviewed him. And here's the sneak peek for next week. The Brawn figure from, I believe, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. They both look pretty cool together. I actually really do like them together. So for an Optimus figure, I think this is really, really cool. This is like my third Optimus figure that I've ever had. That's not really counting these little dudes. So for in like big form, this is my third one. I used to have I think it was a Dark of the Moon, or whichever the second Transformer was, where he fights Megatron, Starscream, and Blackout in the forest. That was the one that I had when the Studio series was just kicking off. So this is like my third one, and I really do like the way this one looks. Again, I wish that there was some problems that they could fix with it. Maybe I might be able to tighten up some of the joints, especially, you know, in the hip area. But other than that, I think they could have just done a tiny bit better. But other than that, that's pretty much the entire review. I really hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's get on to my scoring and probably rambling on for a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, this figure is a big deal for me because I just absolutely love Optimus. So this was a fun review to make. I am very happy with how this figure came out. He has flaws. I do accept that. I wish he was better, but what we got is pretty much, I'm happy with it. So in terms of sculpting and paint, I think it's awesome. The sculpt work, I think they did an awesome job, especially on this truck mode. I think they did a fantastic job on this truck mode. The paint could have maybe used a little bit, just a couple detailings here and there, but I can do that myself. In terms of how the figure feels, like I said, the figure feels very loose when he's in his robot mode, but which sucks because I really like my Transformer figures to feel, you know, firm like the Soundwave does. I actually really do like the way this Soundwave feels, which we will be looking at another time. But in terms of the truck mode, once you get all the pieces put together, I mean, it feels very nice. It's a nice solid truck mode, so I think it's awesome. So it could have been a little better, but it's whatever. And in terms of both modes, the robot mode is really good, but its alternate mode, I think, is fantastic. I think it's the highlight of the figure. The figure itself looks awesome, but I think that this truck mode is super dope. I think the only fault I have with it is like the gap right in here, but I mean, there's nothing much you can do with that. In terms of overall, I really enjoyed this figure, so you know, I do wish he was better, but I can't really complain too much. So this figure for me is getting a 3.9 out of 5. So that is my score for this figure. I just absolutely love this figure. It's such a cool figure, and you know, it's the leader of the Autobots. It's Optimus Prime. You can't hate Optimus Prime. So yeah, it's really cool to see, and I'm very happy with how this figure looks. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy this month, and yeah, I'm just excited to see if I can actually do it. If I can make all 9 of these videos in their respected times, oh, I'll be so happy. I will make this a big accomplishment. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. And I will be seeing you guys in the next Transformer review, which will be in a couple days on Monday. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.